Hey, welcome to Madness Works. Let's take a moment to talk about epoxy river style projects. Some people are screaming from the top of their mountains that epoxy river style projects have overstayed their welcome. But yet, customers still ask for them, right? If they're asking for them, somebody's got to supply them. And if they did overstay their welcome, then why are we still finding new ways to incorporate different ideas into making these designs and new ways to ease the process of making them? I like working with epoxy, I like working with wood, and you probably do too. So come join me in one of my ventures to try a couple of new ideas to see if I can get this to work.
Welcome to Madness Works, where dreams take form in the depths of this workshop.
This is going to be my first attempt at doing a river tray. And so this is the mold I have, and the mold came with these neat little cutouts, so when you pour the epoxy and the epoxy makes the mold expand, the wood will keep it as straight as possible on the sides. I also have it on top of, if you see that orange tint coming out, I have a little heating mat underneath that's gonna hopefully help the epoxy cure. And this will be my first time using these, but I bought these and I'm gonna use those to put on top of the wood, and it'll help push the wood down, keep it from floating in the epoxy. And the weights I'm just using these little granite block samples that you can get from Lowe's and Home Depot. I'm just gonna use those as the weights to hold it down. So this is all an experiment and we'll see how it goes. Last time it looks like I didn't clean out these little silicone cups that I have. So we're gonna do that right now. So see if we can just pop out the stern stick. Look at that. Look how easy that popped out. I'm telling you, that's why you get with the silicone tools. And all these little micro bubbles, I got a video for that to show you how to get those out super easy. So you should definitely check that out. And these guys, popping them right out. Look at that. Look how clean that came out. Telling you, you got to get it on these silicone tools. All right, here's our first layer. All right, here's our first layer. This is what it looks like. We're just gonna stand by, let it cure. Again, we got it on the heat mat. Heat mat should help with bubbles. The wood was prepped and clear coated to ensure that we wouldn't get unnecessary bubbles. Yes, we might have some issues with those putting off bubbles. We'll just deal with it as it comes. All right, so I walk out here and I see this and I'm like, what in the world? Do I have crazy foam bubbles? But what happened was the mat lifted up right here in the middle. So I guess I just poured enough epoxy for it to go around, and my guess is, since there's nothing here, the heat is pushing that side up. So we mixed up a little more epoxy and we're gonna pour in another layer. I've got one more small pour to do in that. I was just doing multiple pours yesterday, multiple layers, and I just want to take a peek at this because this is my first time using this. The mixer, obviously, we know it peels off really easy, but let's see how this works. Look at that. Peeling off nice and easy off of these little silicone magnets I've got. So again, these little silicone pieces, they're good for if my epoxy overflowed and went onto the wood. Obviously the epoxy would stick to these these granite stones, and they would be impossible to remove. So I use these little silicone magnets to create a barrier, so if it did pour over, then I wouldn't have any issues peeling them away. But look at that, no issue whatsoever. So new tip, guys, if you don't have silicone weights and you don't want to use a piece of wood, these aren't a bad option. Here we go. Let's check this bad boy out. Oh, see that? Right there. It's probably hard to tell, but there's a little groove right here where this one of these was sitting and it just popped right off. Now, before I put my material and did my first pour, I sprayed my silicone mat with Pam cooking spray, and then just took this rag that is tinted yellow and wiped the inside of it to get all the cooking spray around so there wasn't puddling up anywhere. And let's see how it unmolds. No problems on the sides. Look at that. No problem whatsoever. So Pam cooking spray, good to go. Now I got a groove right here. So I got a groove in there. That's from when I poured it and the mold was popping up in the middle. Not really sure what caused that. This is what we're looking at. So now it's time to go finish it. I'll probably run it a surfacing bit over on my CNC, get it nice and flat. Actually, it's slippery from the Pam. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a thin layer here first. So I'm going to sand it, pour a thin layer to get it level, and then I'll bring it to my CNC. But I just wanted to show you that the Pam cooking spray worked perfectly to help me demold it without issues. I've been procrastinating to finish this video, just got a lot of stuff going on in life, but here she is. This is what we're looking at. This is the tray that we made. To finish it off, instead of creating a video for it, I was just gonna tell you guys that the tray was a little bit longer on each side. All I did was I trimmed off the excess because you guys shouldn't have been able to see where it overflowed a little bit. The epoxy was all along the sides, so I trimmed both sides. I put a nice little round over on it, right? Gotta put that round over, sanded it down. And then all I did was I hit it with a clear coat of rattle can shellac. I got that nice, gorgeous shine to it. Clarity is amazing, and that's why I love using color pigments in my epoxy. Before I cleared it, I did drill some holes in here, right through the top, right out the bottom, and you don't gotta worry about a blowout through the bottom when you're drilling down through. So I used a drill bit that was big enough, forgive me because I can't remember exactly what size it was, but it was big enough for the screws that come in through the bottom. And then you just flip your piece over and you drill a little bit of a bigger hole so the entire screw head can fit down inside and go as deep as you need to, so you get plenty of threads coming through the wood piece to go into the handle. Then you just screw it in from the top, and then you do your clear coat. The only thing I got left to do on this is I got to do one real fine sanding to get it nice, silky smooth, and then hit it with another coat of shellac clear coat, and it'll be done. So, good project. It was fun. I learned some things. Hope you guys learned some stuff. And hopefully the next one's not that far around the corner. So, hope you enjoyed this one. And boy, is that repetitive or not? Hope you learned something. Have a good one.
The only real place where madness works is true.
You know why I think they say that they overstayed their welcome? Because people are greedy and they're jealous and they want to keep those projects all to themselves. Don't let them deter you from doing what you love.